TSF Entertainment.
Yo, and welcome back to TSF Entertainment. This time we are bringing you Raising Kanan, episode 8 exclusive picks and predictions. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Episode 8 synopsis says Rock goes on the offensive as Marvin and Lou attempt to contain the escalated situations. Jukebox joins the search for OC, while Kanan looks into his theory on what happened to Famous. So here, first up in this scene, we have none other than Juke and Detective Garcia. It's quite sure, could be quite possible that Detective Garcia is talking to Juke about Famous, who wanted to hurt him, his whereabouts, anything, just trying to get any type of info, who possibly took Famous out, as well as he may try to dig for more info about the unaliving of Detective Howard. In episode 2, Captain Batiste ordered Garcia to continue investigating on who took Howard down. So it could be quite possible here that she's asking him, since he knows that Juke is close with the Thomas family, is part of the Thomas family, and if she has any info on who possibly could have took out Detective Howard. So here we have Garcia over at Unique's store, and he has a sit down with Unique. Now, again, the same as stated before from the previous scene, he could be talking or asking questions about Famous, but I don't think that's the deal. I think here he's possibly telling Unique about his brother Ronnie being found next to Howard's body in the warehouse, and he wants to know what was Ronnie dealings with Howard. As stated earlier, Garcia is trying to find out what happened to Detective Howard by orders of Captain Batiste. So it could be quite possible that he may even suspect that Unique was the one behind putting Howard down, as Ronnie's body was found next to Detective Howard. Here we have Stephano and Marvin, and I'm sure here none other than Stephano talking to Marv again about pushing Rock out of the business, which Marvin told him that he would not push his sister out of the business. Also possible here that he's asking yet again Marvin for another favor. Here we have David and Rock back at the warehouse office. In the trailer, Rock tells David they're about to be back up in a big way, which is her way of letting David know they're going to need the trucks, the warehouse, everything, and he needs to get back on board. However, David might be hesitant to do so, seeing as now Quan is working with Unique. But I'm pretty sure once again she reminds him again what will happen if he does not work with her. Here we have Snaps and Pops, and they are possibly meeting with Unique. Now, past episodes in the the Raising Kanan show, Unique used to meet Rock at the park. So I'm thinking here this is the exact same thing. He's meeting Snaps and Pops at the park to discuss business. So he could be quite possibly as well letting them know that he has backing from Phil Russo in Jersey, which is how he was able to take back over the blocks as we saw in the last episode. And I'm sure Snaps and Pops have heard about the rumblings and him taking back over the blocks. Here we have Phil Russo meeting with none other than Unique. Pretty sure, as we all know, Unique is trying to get his blocks back and get back to business. So here we know that they're going to discuss business. But Phil Russo also looks pretty pissed here. So it's quite possible that he found out that Stefano knows that he's backing Unique. Here we have none other than Rock and Crystal meeting in her home. Rock told Crystal in a previous episode to watch and take care of Kanan. So it's quite possible that's what Crystal is over at Rock House to tell her more information about what Kanan told her, and believes that Kanan thinks that she is the one that had Famous unalive. She also could be quite possibly over there being sent by Kanan to try to get some info out of Rock so that Kanan can prove his theory that Rock was the one who took out Famous. Here we have Juke here at Mama's Joy's house, who is packing up some of her grandmother's clothes, and while doing so, thinking here she is having a convo with none other than Rock. We see Rock here in her grandmother's room. As you saw in the previous picture, you'll see the background, the wallpaper is the same. So I'm thinking here she's having a conversation with Rock about Mama Joyce. We see Rock here looking in the mirror, holding a red dress, and I'm believing right here she is reminiscing about her mom and the last thing that she did for her mom, as we saw in the last episode. Here we have Jukebox and a new character named Rashawn. Now, I'm not sure his dealings with Juke, but as we know from the synopsis, Juke helps Kanan to find OC. So Rashawn here could be a worker or possibly a family member of OC, and they're asking about him and his disappearance, where his whereabouts, as Kanan has been desperately trying to find him. They also could be asking him about Famous. It could be somebody that actually knew Famous, or they heard his name in some rumblings that he might have info on Famous' death. The synopsis stated that Kanan looks into his theory on what happened, and that could be quite possible. That's where this Rashawn character comes in. And that's it. You let us know down in the comments what you think. Let us know your theories on those scenes that you just saw.